Oh, that hay bale. Oh, that hay bale. Whoa, there it goes again. Oh, wow. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Schubert here once again with an episode of Racing Wednesday. Today, as you can see, I am taking a look at Flatout 2. Now, this game came out in 2006. It is a game that friends of mine and I played relentlessly during weekend LAN parties. This game was created by Bugbear Games, which created Wreckfest as well, and you can see some of the elements that they implemented into Wreckfest really started way back here in Flatout 2, and possibly even the first Flatout. I don't know. I never played that one, but I played Flatout 2 a ton. If I had Steam way back in the day, and it tracked how long I played this game, it would probably be one of my most played games. As you can see, we're started here, but I'm going to delete this character and just go for a fresh start. Create a new profile. I only did a couple races in the other one. And we will just take a look at this game and get right into some races. You can select male or female here. Doesn't really matter to me. I'll just pick. And then we can take a look at options real quick. Most of your options, like your graphics quality and all that, you have to set before you launch the game. But you can select your meters, race map, texture quality, view distance. You can change up your sound effects volume and your music volume. This game, I thought, has a great soundtrack. But unfortunately, it's YouTube, and so I have to turn the music off. I'll try to put a link in the description below as to what songs are in this soundtrack. There's some Rob Zombie and different stuff like that. Overall, I think it's great. It's a great list of songs to race to. As you can see here in the controller options, we can have a force feedback wheel set up. But part of the reason I wanted to play this game today is because I didn't feel like setting up a wheel. I'm kind of behind on making videos. And I just wanted to do a simple video with a controller and not have to mess with all the hooking up and setting up and then taking back down of a wheel. However, I have tried it with both my Logitech G29 and my Thrustmaster TMX, and it does work. It's just a little bit difficult because it's more of an arcadey racing game, so it's kind of difficult to use a wheel with this game. And then, of course, we have all these controls that we can configure that I already have configured to my Steam controller. So let's go back. There is a single player, multiplayer. You can change your profile. You can look at the options again. You can look at the extras, or you can quit the game. If you look at multiplayer, you used to be able to do a party mode, online, or a LAN. And like I said, my friends and I would just get in this on a LAN weekend, and all of a sudden it would be Saturday morning at 3 a.m., and we're like, I think it's time for bed, guys. I think it's finally time we quit. We're having too much fun. We need to go to bed. In the single player, you have your career. You can do a single race, a single stunt, an event, or a derby. We'll launch a career here today. Welcome to the car shop. Here you can purchase your first car. You can only afford derby cars, but after you earn a bit more money, you can buy cars from race and street classes and participate in cups within those classes. So our first is a derby class. It's basically like having a rookie license in some other games. You have the option here of purchasing the Chili, the Malice, or the Roamer. And you can see up in the upper right corner, we have 5,000 credits. And the Roamer costs 5,000, the Malice costs 4, and the Chili costs 3. So if we purchase the Roamer, we get a little bit better start, but we don't have any money to upgrade it right away. If we purchase the Chili, we're at a little bit of a disadvantage in a few ways, but we can upgrade it right off the bat. And this is usually what I like to do. I like to start with the most difficult one. You can change your color scheme up as much as you want. Not really. You have very limited color options here. Basically, you just change that bonnet. Or not even the bonnet. What would you call that? You change the upper part. I usually just like to leave it as this nice blue. You can test out each car if you wanted to. I guess I didn't point that one out. But I usually just purchase this chili. Welcome to the career menu. Here you can check the cars you have in the garage, buy new cars from the car shop, upgrade existing ones in the upgrade shop, and go race against the opponents and earn more money while you progress. So you can already start to see some of these elements from Wreckfest go all the way back to Flatout 2. And I think that's great. You know, they found a good system and they've stuck with it. Here you have your garage, your car shop, and your upgrade shop. Here you can upgrade your current car by purchasing parts from the selection. When parts have different upgrade levels, you can directly purchase the best available if you have the money. So the first things I usually do, since I'm a creature of habit, I said that in my Fallout video the other day, I usually purchase this fuel and filter kit because that's $1,200. And then I go to the gearbox and purchase the best and only upgrade to the gearbox you can get, which is 800 credits. Then we can go back. Actually, let's take a look real quick. You have engine, gearbox, exhaust, suspension, tires and brakes, and body upgrades that you can select. So it's a little bit different than in Wreckfest, where they actually separated it between performance parts and armor, which actually I think is nice the way they did it that way. Otherwise, that list gets to be a little bit too long. If we take a look at the Go Race selection, you can see here we can only do the Derby because that's the type of car we have, but eventually you can do the Racing series if you have a race type car, or you can do the Street series if you have a street car. We'll go into the Derby, and here we are in the Derby Initiation Cup. You can see we are in Pine Grove 1. Starting near the BMX stunt track, the road takes you through a narrow gorge, which can prove interesting if you are in the middle of a large bunch of cars. Well, I almost guarantee that we won't be in the middle of a large bunch of cars when we first start, just because this game doesn't really have a difficulty mode. The difficulty ramps up kind of as you go along in the series. When we start off, we have to hit enter to start the race. Now, unfortunately, we are using a controller, but they're still asking us, they are asking us to hit enter on the keyboard, which is kind of weird. It's like, if you have controller support, why can't you make it so the controller, I don't know. But we hit enter on the keyboard and we get to racing. Yeehaw! You can see here we can look back at all the vehicles behind us. Pretty nice view there. Now you notice around the speedometer there is a little bit of a meter, and that meter fills up when we hit things, when we damage things in the area, when we launch off jumps, and that is our nitro meter. So you see we get our nitrous not through a tank apparently, but actually through destruction and damage and big huge jumps. And I think top speeds too, but I don't remember exactly on that one. I lost control. I looked off screen for just a split second. Oh boy. I just meant to take out the fence, the signpost. I did not mean to put myself way off track like that. And you can see already my car is getting massively damaged just by beating some of this stuff up. Which is really cool to see, especially back in 2006, to be able to see this kind of... I gotta restart. Reset. To see this kind of body damage in a racing game. You know, when I first played, I think it was Gran Turismo 3. That was the first racing game I ever really had of my own on a PlayStation 2. And I was so disappointed that there was no damage in the game. It was basically, you could bounce off everything like this, and I gotta quit looking off the screen. Oh my gosh, I gotta quit looking off the screen. Oh well, it makes for a good beat-up car, right? But I was very disappointed in Gran Turismo 3 for the fact that there is no damage model. And that actually has really kept me away from any Gran Turismo game. And one reason why I really love Wreckfest, because it is so detailed in the damage. And again, you can see the beginnings of that way back in 2006 with a game like this. I'll take a look real quick. We have several different camera options. I am staying in the third person for you, the viewer, but there's also a bumper camera. Speed up this hill here. Then there is a hood camera, a second hood camera, which just goes a little bit off to the left, which is one that I usually use. They do not have an in-car view in this game. And then you have a really close-up third-person view, and then a further-out third-person view. Like I stated before, this is one of those games that's a little bit more on the arcade side, obviously, and it's actually a little bit easier to use a controller than a wheel and pedals. Most other games are not actually like that. A lot of other racing games I've played, like Dirt, Grid, Wreckfest, etc., I just find so much easier to use the wheel and pedals. When we get all said and done, we get our race results. You can see we beat them by quite a bit. And we can either retry the race, view the replay, check our sound options, or continue the cup. When we continue the cup, we get a race summary here, where it shows us our position, our cup points. These race rewards, as you can see, are all kind of based on damaging other vehicles. But we don't have any of those. What we do have for us is fastest lap, which gives us 100 credits. And if we would have damaged a lot more stuff, we could have possibly got the bulldozer away from Sophia. However, in the Chili, it is very difficult to damage stuff. And you'll see in the next race, I'll try to show that off. Now, we can go to the second race in the series. Go ahead and click on that. This one takes place in Farmlands 2. This route takes you into the rural areas, cutting through a homely farmyard and amongst the peaceful scenery. It is another 3-lap race. You can see here we start off in 8th place. And if we do some damage, I don't think we can do any damage. Oh, I did some damage. Haha, I did. I did get a good spin out. And that does give us some turbo. However, in a small vehicle like the Chili, it's not exactly worth it. I think I have a weight rating of 1. And so it really screws you up if you do the damage. Haha, bounce bad. Now it's kind of funny, when my friends and I would play this game on the LAN, we would often do figure 8 races and stuff like that. And a lot of times we would do a demolition figure 8 race where we would take buses. We would have one less bus than we would have cars, and those buses would go backwards and have to try to damage all the cars. That was always kind of a fun one. And then you see in Wreckfest, they actually have a mode where you are a car and you have to avoid a bus, or vice versa. You're a bus and you have to damage all the cars. You don't go backwards, you still race around. Oh man, I'm still not good at third-person racing. Like, you don't go backwards around the track, you still go forwards. But it's kind of a similar concept. So you're welcome, Bugbear, for us giving you the idea. I'm kidding. Let's see. Do I want to go high or low? Let's go low this time. We still get a little bit of a jump there. We can go back here and check out one of the coolest pieces of scenery in the game if I don't mess up too bad. Got a nice little prop plane there. If we... Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to hit reset that fast, but I had to. If we damage that prop plane, it blows up. It's really cool. The only problem is we are in the lightest vehicle in the game, and so we really get stopped or tossed around when that happens. Once again, you can see all this awesome soft body damage that they already have in this game. And being 2006, the textures are a little weird. But like I said, for its time, I thought this game was just amazing as far as getting damaged and driving a vehicle that pretty much has no front end anymore. Just looks awesome. Alright, we didn't win that one by quite as much, but we can still continue on. You can see how fast that loading screen is compared to what it probably used to be. We finished first, got 10 more points. This time we got 2 slams, so we got 200 credits, 100 for each slam. And we did not get fastest lap or anything else this time, unfortunately. But our final results, we did win the Initiation Cup. We can continue on. We got 900 credits as a reward for the cup. And you can see we also unlocked a new event, the high jump. So now with our 1200 credits, we could go to the upgrade shop right away. But I'm going to go to the car shop. The car shop. What did I just... Oh my gosh. The Go Race. I was right here on the car shop when I started to say that. I'm going to go to the Go Race, and I'm going to click on Derby again. And this time, I'm going to look at the high jump. When you get into the high jump, you can have your pick of vehicles. I don't think these vehicles have any real statistical difference. I think they're all the same. It's just looks. I think. I'm not 100% sure. You have Starflight, Trailblazer, Afterburner, the Rocket, or the Nucleon, which is a pretty sweet name for a car. When you get into it, it's going to tell us a nice tutorial. The idea of high jump is that we launch the driver as high as possible into the high jump net. Final score is your best out of 3 attempts. I'll hit continue and it'll just take off for me. I've got no hands on the controller at all. This is just the game showing me what to do. You try to avoid these barrels. You press and hold the launch button to increase the launch angle. Release the button to set the angle and launch your driver. Do not cross the fault line or your try is forfeit. You can see they release at a little more than a 20-degree angle at 102 miles an hour. And it says, in flight, use the aerobatics controls to maneuver your driver. Maneuvering reduces your airspeed. Press the launch button to give your driver a small upwards nudge. For maximum height benefit, use it before your driver reaches the apex of its flight. So you can see there they get a nice 160 or 156.6 as their height at a 23-degree angle and 102 miles an hour. Should we see if we can repeat that? Probably not. This is, out of all the cool little events they created, this is unfortunately the one that I am the worst at. I just don't know what to do. I can't quite get the height that... See, look at that. I can nudge myself upwards. That was a bad one. I think they got that a little bit off. I think they're tricking us with that angle that they had. I think I got to go a little bit more than a 23-degree angle to launch as high as they did. So let's go around here. Gotta avoid these barrels, which is always the toughest part. Got a little bit better, not quite 100. 93.08. That was at a 38-degree angle at 105 miles an hour. And still keeps us way down there as far as what our best is. Sally Taylor, damn, she's gonna win. Try this one more time. There are a lot of other events that they created for this game that I thought were always pretty cool. And that time I got launched sideways, so this isn't going to be good. Ugh. Oh. Way down there at 72.04. I don't know what it is about this one, this event. I just can never get it down. I mean, I've played this game since 2006, and I just can't get it. So we're going to go ahead and lose, and I'm just going to go back to the main menu. It's not really something that concerns me, although you can get extra rewards and extra credits if you succeed. Let's go ahead over to the upgrade shop real quick before we go into any other races and take a look at what we can do for exhaust. We have 2 upgrades that are 200 credits each. I'll go ahead and purchase one of those. We are down to 1,000 credits. And so if I take a look at suspension, there's an 8 and a 6. If I take a look at tires, there's a 4 and a 3. So if I purchase some tires at a 4 and then go back to the suspension and purchase the modified suspension for 600 credits, there we go. Our top speeds are now up to 1.3. Our acceleration is 4.6. Handling is 7.6. Strength is 7.4. Our weight is 1. And our nitro is also 1. If we take a look and go to the body parts, though, you'll notice that the strength can be increased, and it affects the weight and the acceleration as well. Now, this is cool that they had this way back then in 2006. I know that's so long ago, right? But it's pretty cool that they had this way back then. And they also, implemented it in Wreckfest and worked on it and improved it. And I think it's a pretty great system in that game as well. So just for fun, let's go ahead into one more set of races. Show this game off a little bit more. There are 8 cups in total in the Derby, 9 in the race, and then 10 in the street races. The next one we are on is called the Sunday Smash Derby, where there are 3 events, and then I do believe we will unlock an actual Derby event. We start off at the Water Canal 1, neighborhood of small apartments situated near the canals. Alternative routes take you over rooftops and through narrow tunnels. This is kind of a more difficult, more interesting race for the Chili. It's more of a difficult race for the Chili because it's lighter and there's a lot of stuff that comes up. You can see right away at the start-finish line we can knock down this nice little thing here. Of course, he's going to try to do it first. Knock down that there. And then these big fences really can stop me at times. There's multiple routes. Oh, that fence. Oh, that fence. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. There are multiple routes we can take if we want to. Which is kind of cool. Oh, geez. Concentrating way too hard. You can see that first set of races was just super easy, and now we are off into a little bit more difficult set of races where the AI is giving us more of a challenge than they were before. Oh, this is like my favorite part. I'm a bull in a china shop. Or I'm a chili in a furniture store, or whatever that was. Office store, maybe. Oh my goodness. Just not good here today. Not good. Get plenty of air, so we're going to get plenty of nitro. And this is one of those tracks where I realize the game is just very oddly bright. That's one of the downsides, one of the downfalls that I've always noticed with this game, is the track is glaring, and I don't know what I could do to change that. There's no real setting for brightness in the settings that you have before you launch the game. I don't want to go up there this time. That kind of hurt last time. We can go right through here. Of course, we got to be careful there, and I messed that up, but anyways. And then we can go smashing through here again. Yeah! Smashing up your stores. Hope you got insurance. Actually, what's the... Okay, hold on. Who has seen the movie The Rock? Where he's smashing through different things in the Humvee, and he's like, I hope you're insured. Okay, that wasn't my best Sean Connery impression, but still. I hope you're insured. That's a hard word to say when you don't have that accent. Holy cow, my caffeine is kicking in now, folks. Woo! It's getting hard to concentrate, but at the same time, I'm all jazzed up. I love this old game. You know, I thought last week playing the old, the remake of the classic Micro Machines game. Oh, that was tough, man. It takes them a while to back up again. I thought last week playing the classic remake to that game was going to be relaxing, but it really wasn't. It was quite a frustrating experience, actually. There you go. And this game, despite the contention that I'm having right here, right now, is actually quite a bit more relaxing. Oh, no! No, he's going to take it from me. You're not, though. Get out of here. Oh, he took first place from me. I messed up too many times at the end. Or she, I should say. Sofia Martinez. Okay, so we got second place. Best lap time, 1:11. We did not get any race rewards there. But we did get fastest lap and bulldozer. So we got 400 extra credits. We can go into the second race, which is Farmlands 1 this time. Speeding around a Great Lake, this race takes you into wide open farmlands and recreation areas suffering from flash floods. That's not nice. They're flooding and we're out here racing. We should be sandbagging. Of course, I could sandbag a few of these guys if I want. Boom! Whee! Oh, come on now. Splish splash. This is another one of those where it's always kind of difficult to tell which way you should go. You know, should I go right, left? Should I go straight? I don't know what route to take on these places. Eventually you figure out what works best for you. The other difficult thing with this game is trying to figure out what you can and cannot hit. There are times where, well, first of all, I'm in the chili, so I'm lightweight. So hitting that back there did not help me at all. But there are times where you can hit a post and take it out. You can hit a tree and take it out. There's that plane again. You can take that out if you want. But then there are other times where you hit something and, oh my gosh, it's solid, and now you're stopped. could go low on that beach side, however, going this direction actually keeps us a little bit safer. There we go. Sometimes I like to use the turbo to reset myself, basically. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just meant to skim through all that fence. Oh, there it is. Oh, the side of the barn. Okay, you can't hit that. You can hit that car. You can hit all sorts of stuff. You just can't hit that corner of the barn, or else you're done for. Oh, that hay bale. Oh, that hay bale. Whoa, there it goes again. Wow. Wow. Now we are in 4th place. You can see it gets to be very difficult, especially if you are trying to smash things and increase your turbo like I am right now. Oh, my door is open. Oh, I'm gonna get wet. Oh, no, it's gonna get wet in this car. I feel like I peed my pants now. I'm all wet. This game, though, thank you, Bugbear, for creating a game like this. So many good memories, so much fun, just relaxing. You know, using a controller, sitting in the third-person view, something I don't normally do. Nice, easy game to play. There are some tense moments when you're really trying and you're really going at it with somebody, or when you hit a hay bale. But overall, just a great game. Let me hit this plane. Oh, yeah. There, we got it. We got a minute that time on that race. 12 seconds better than the next best. Now for the race summary, we got 1st place. 300 credits for slams. Nice. We had the fastest lap and the bulldozer again, which is awesome. And now we are set for the last race of the series. You can see just 4 points separates us from Sophia, and just an extra point separates us from Jason. So it's pretty tight setup towards the top there. This time we are in Pine Grove 3. Oh, this one's exciting. Old gas stations, heavily banked roads, racing along cliff sides, and a nice downhill run to the local water supply yard. One difficult thing about this kind of racing, whether it's Flatout 2 or Wreckfest, something I always thought was a pain in the butt, is the fact that these races are only 3 laps. I thought it would be a lot easier if they were longer, and that's just because 3 laps doesn't seem like enough to really, as I smashed through the gas station, doesn't really seem like enough to learn the map, to learn the track. Now, I do have the map set up in the left-hand side of the screen, but I've raced these levels so much that I don't even look at that. I only ever really look at that if I'm in the lead and I mess up, and then I'm wondering where everybody else is. That's when I look at the map to the left. Nope, the water tower is solid, by the way. In case you wanted to know. Hey, there's another wheelbarrow. Haha, take it. You can cut corners a little bit. However, once again, I'm in the chili, and the chili just does not like to hit things very much. Nice little dirt bike track there in the middle. Maybe one of these days I could play a dirt bike game. I think I've got MX versus ATV or something like that in my library somewhere. I'm gonna hit this other gas pump. Oh yeah, so satisfying. Just Boom! Right through. I know I have MX GP3, I think it is, in my Steam library. I thought that game was going to be so amazing, but it's also technical. It's like you really got to know how to race a dirt bike, otherwise, man, good luck. And dirt bike racing is something that I have never really touched, other than arcade games or games on like the original PlayStation or PlayStation 2. Never really learned how to race on a dirt bike. I always wanted one. I always wanted a dirt bike or a go-kart when I was a kid. Mostly a go-kart. Love go-karts. They're so fun. I wanted one of those like dune buggy looking, like a buggy looking go-kart that you would see. You know, I have the buggy races on SOTA that I did. So a buggy kind of thing like that. That's the kind I always wanted. But they cost money, and I never had that kind of dough. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Oh, man. And why spend that much money on a go-kart that you can only drive around so much when you could buy a game where you could or buy a computer where you could basically race go-karts? Or cars. Or shooters, or play shooters, or anything like that. Have a lot more variety with a computer, right? And you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home. You can avoid the rain, you can avoid the snow, you can avoid the heat. Just hang out inside. Indoors are nice. Are we gonna take the cake? Are we almost there? I think we are. To avoid taking too much damage from all that stuff. And there we have it. First place again. So it's really easy in the early game, but it gets to be a lot more difficult later on. And you see we got first place, another 10 cup points. We had one slam in that whole race. We had the fastest lap, so we get another 100 credits. And we finished first overall with 28 total points. Congratulations, you have finished in first place. Yay! We have an additional 1,100 credits as a reward. And we unlock the gas station derby event. This is a derby that takes place at a gas station. And the derbies in this game still do use turbo, which is really cool. And so you can smash into these gas pumps just like I did back there in the race and blow them sky high. And we also unlocked the shaker. Now, we don't get the shaker. We unlock the ability to buy the shaker is pretty much all that means. And the Blaster XL. And the Banger. And congratulations, you have qualified for the next level, level 2. Reward 5,000 credits. So last completed race event, Derby class level 1. I do believe if we click on Go Race, yes, we are indeed on level 2. There is level 1. And then if I go over, there's 3. And that concludes all, what did we have? 8? All 8 races. If we wanted to, I could do this event down here, but I'm already sitting at like 40 minutes of gameplay. I don't know. Should I do that? I'll wait. First of all, I'll wait because I have to go back here. And before I do anything like that, I would have to go into the body, not Jesse the body, but the body shop, and upgrade all these different parts for damage. Otherwise, there's no way in hell I am going to last. So I could do that. I could go in here, upgrade all these parts, Although you see, once I upgraded the nitro, that took some of my strength back down. So I probably shouldn't have done that, especially because you cannot undo it. I'm just too jazzed up and caffeinated, and I went ahead and did it anyways. Was not thinking. We'll just get this car ready for the next race. Purchase all these upgrades. It's so exciting, isn't it? Just ka-chee, ka-chee, ka-chee. Purchase all these dang upgrades. And I think that's all of them. Now our top speed is up to 1.7. Our acceleration is 4.8. Handling 8.3. Strength is down to a 6.9. Giggity. Oh, the dirtiest thing I ever heard. So, one time there was an earthquake in like Chile, and it was a 6.9. And the radio host, as they were talking about it on the news, the one radio host says, "Hey, you know what 6.9 is, right?" And the other guy goes, "No, what?" And he goes, "A good time interrupted by a period." I could not believe that he said something like that on the radio. I mean, here on YouTube, where you can pretty much say whatever you want, so long as you don't have sponsors that are going to hate you for it, you're good to go. But, oh my goodness. Well, you can't say anything you want on YouTube. You know, if you're racist and all that kind of stuff, they're going to kick your butt out. But I just mean there's a lot that you can say here on YouTube that you can't get away with elsewhere. And I was just shocked. I was shocked, I tell you. So there we have it, a fully upgraded Chile. And some more races we could do if I decide to race this arcade style again. I thought it was quite fun. It's a different mode than racing in the first person in other games. I'm actually able to go to the third person cam and still succeed in this game versus Wreckfest, where I just struggle so much in that game. This game, it's like playing Wreckfest with all the assists on. The car is pretty difficult to spin out and everything else. But in Wreckfest, I don't know. I find it hard to be outside. I find it hard to be in the third person in a lot of games. That's just who I am. I'm sorry if you don't like that. It's just the way it goes sometimes. But anyways, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great Racing Wednesday. I am going to chop this video up. Hopefully get it down to less than the 45-minute mark that I'm sitting at right now. And I will thank you for watching if I didn't do that already. Man, this caffeine is strong today. And I will see you next time.